Hello, my name's Melissa. Today we're going to talk about your first yoga class, misconceptions about the practice, how to prepare for your first class, what you might feel come up in your body and your mind as a beginner, and also a little bit of studio etiquette. Everything is timestamped below. Later in this video, I choose to use the word overwhelming to describe some of my own personal experiences, and I just want to say that is a word choice in my own body from the class that I chose, and it was all overwhelming in the best way possible. I came to yoga so tight from playing guitar for a living. Like, I'm talking, a doctor told me one morning after I woke up, I turned my head to the left, felt a pop, everything went black, hair in my mouth. I went to the doctor and he said that I essentially was so tight that when I turned my head, I gave myself whiplash. So that's the level of tension that we're talking about in my body when I made it to my first regular yoga class. I am confident there is a yoga style out there to fit your personality and your needs, and there's an intensity level of class out there to fit your personality and your needs. Let's talk about the misconceptions about yoga and meditation, specifically the statements, I'm not flexible enough for yoga, or my mind is not still enough for meditation. The yogi that's been practicing for 10 or 20 years still experiences discomfort. It's all relative. The thing that changes and shifts is our ability to deal with the discomfort and to let it be there. Your body is your house, and if you think of it literally like your house, yoga and meditation is just a time during the day that you give yourself to clean out the rooms of the house, to reset back to zero, recalibrate. As far as studio etiquette goes, I just wanted to make it a point to bring up the fact that some people only have this very tiny window of silence before and after their yoga class throughout their entire day. To be respectful of others, take a look around, see if there are some signs about talking before class. It's a nice thing to be mindful of. I've had what feels to be several first yoga class experiences. My first 3 yoga classes were spread years apart. They were all very different in nature, but in general, I can say one thing. It was a very strange experience to get in a room with other people and breathe deeply together. But that subsided very quickly, and what I think it was just that it was a very weird experience to breathe deeply in my own body. You just have to embrace that first time weirdness a little bit. Another thing that was overwhelming in my first few classes, when the teacher's giving you cues to put your foot here and your hands here and your head here and your rib cage here and twist this way and expand that way, and then you're supposed to breathe freely in all of this. That'll get easier. Use your breath as a guide if you are not able to breathe freely. Back out of the pose. If you're not able to breathe freely, back out of the pose. If you're not able to breathe freely, back out of the pose. If you can breathe freely, the advances and deepening into the postures will come faster. When we hold our breath and have restrictions and try to go deeper because our ego is telling us to go deeper than the next person to our right, we hold compensations, which creates rigidity. Back out, slow down, breathe deeper, go slower, you'll do better. If you leave your first class and you feel a little overwhelmed by the dialogue and the postures and everything that you had to process mentally just to get through class, totally normal. It's overwhelming. It's new. You're going to get used to the posture names and how to set up your hands and your feet, and it's going to start to become second nature, like driving, like walking, like running. I pinky promise. Let's talk about emotions, moving energy in the body. Sometimes it will cause an upheaval of what's been trapped, and maybe this comes up as anger, maybe this comes up as a heaviness and you need to just take a seat or lie down. Maybe you need to cry. I promise you, Anyone who's in that room who's been practicing for some time has cried in that room. Take the space to do that if you need to and you feel safe in class. I promise you, anyone who's been in that room practicing for some time has cried in class. It is a safe place to let that go. It's normal and expected that when you start moving your body, you're going to unwedge some stuff that's been packed in the house, packed in the room emotionally, because you just moving through life because no one ever taught you about how to manage the shit on the inside. This is your time to honor your body. This is your practice to start honoring what you need, not what society says you need, not what your mom says you need, not what your partner says you need, what you feel you need. You let it be there. You let it come through, you let it do its thing, and nature will take its course. The teacher is just the guide for that class, for that hour, for that 90 minutes. If you don't resonate with the teacher, go find another teacher. Nothing wrong with that. It might not be that you don't like yoga. Maybe you just don't resonate with the teacher. Now, there is an argument to be made further into your yoga practice that you can mentally put that aside and still have a great practice. But as a beginner, I think that it's important for you to find a teacher that you resonate with. Not every teacher offers hands-on assistance in class. Some do. Many will ask at the start of the class if you would rather not be touched to raise your hand. A lot of them will have you close your eyes and privately raise your hand, and they take an inventory that way. But if you've experienced a trauma where you do not want to be touched, it's okay to just go in there before class starts, meet the teacher at the desk, and let them know, I would prefer not to be touched or have hands-on assistance. Something else that may be astonishing as a beginner to a yoga practice is that down dog in class, you'll hear the teacher say this is meant to be a resting pose, or take your rest here in down dog. Eventually, it will be a resting position. At the start, you may feel like you're holding on for dear life. Completely normal. Clothing. Depending on what style of class you're attending, there may be something that is more or less popular to wear in that class, but it really doesn't matter. In the Hot 26 class, it is encouraged to wear shorts so that you can see the engagement of your quad muscle in your leg and lift the kneecap so you can visually see it with your eyes in the mirror. But you wear whatever you have, whatever you feel good in, whatever you feel like you can move freely in. Hydration. If you're taking a heated class, you're definitely going to want to start hydrating at the beginning of the day, earlier in the day. Chugging water before a hot class, been there, guilty. Not the best way to hydrate, and you're not going to be fully hydrated when your class starts. You can use any towel that you have for your practice. Some of the yoga towels have a nice stickiness to them, and they're very expensive compared to a shower or beach towel, but use whatever you have. It doesn't matter. If you are taking a heated class, the Hot 26 in particular, you might want to bring some stuff to shower afterwards. I would recommend your yoga towel for practice, your shower towel, and at least a bag or two for your wet things after class and after you shower, especially in the winter time. That's really nice to have a shower before you put all your stuff back on and go back outside. It's just not nice, very sensory experience. And also you just expelled all these toxins through your sweat, so you don't really want to reabsorb them. If you're interested in trying in-person classes, but it's not quite in your budget at this time, many studios offer community classes or donation-based classes once a week. Hop online, give them a call, and see if they have anything like that at a studio near you. Bottom line is, this is new, so it will feel awkward, it will feel challenging, but it will become second nature. And you don't have to do anything more than just show up in your body and do what you can. That's it. That's all for this video, guys. Don't like, don't subscribe. Go move your body. If you have a special occasion coming up for a child in your life, please consider purchasing my first children's book, Gunner Saves the Day, a rhyming storybook for kids about being different.